spare time.
Okay, so let's get
Matter
this.
of if it matches everybody else's schedule.
Understood. So we'll start off the basic ones. How'd your band start? How'd your band start?
Band.
Yeah, how did Ensiferum start?
Oh. Well, Marcus is the founding member.
Mm-hmm.
He started the band back in '95 because he was really inspired by. Well, I think Amorphis' Tale from the Thousand Lakes was
Yeah.
the point for him, and he wanted to do something that uses like the melodic side of Scandinavian folk music and the power of metal. I want to do something like that. I want to have a band of his own. Until then, he had just played some cover songs and stuff like that. You know, he was like a teenager at that age.
Yeah.
And he found the name of the band in a dictionary, from dictionary. Just
Yeah, I
opened it
read that
and,
on your website. What does it mean again?
like sword carrier, sword bearer.
Oh, very nice. And so I guess you answered the second question with that. How does your band form concept for ideas for songs? Like, I noticed you use the Finnish mythology, like, and you have that old guy, I forget his name, like, on the cover of all your albums, but he's like the part of Finnish mythology. I was talking to Markus Mäkinen, from Sadistic Forest. He was telling me, what does that represent? Like, what? How do you get your inspiration?
Well, of course, Finnish folklore and the whole Nordic mythology is like one source of inspiration, but for Ensiferum, that's just like one side. It's also just pure fantasy stuff, and on the latest album, most of the lyrics, actually all the lyrics, are inspired by real life, something that happened to me, or
Oh,
it's just the trick is to find the metaphors that fit this Ensiferum
yeah,
heroic.
heroic folk metalist. Yeah. So of all all your inspirations, what would you say has made the most profound impact on your songwriting?
That is a good question. I would say like traditional Finnish folk music. It's really minor scale based stuff, so I think that affects a lot how we write music.
Yes. Are you an original member?
I joined in 2004, 2005.
How did you join the band?
I was actually playing in another band called Rapture at that time, and Markus was working in Spine Farm, a record label, and he gave me and the drummer, who was actually the drummer from Fintroll, a ride to the studio, but it was like 300 kilometers from Helsinki, and well, I didn't have to play next day because they recorded drums on the first day, and Markus was too tired to drive back, and he said, yeah, maybe I crash in the apartment of the studio, and I said, well, I'm not gonna play anything tomorrow, so you want to go bar? And we went to bar. That was like the first time we met, and
Oh, nice.
we talked a lot about music and life, and we shared a lot of values, and we liked a lot of same bands. And a few months later, he calls me totally wasted, and yeah, we might need a bass player. You wanna give it a try? And yeah, and then I went to audition, and here I am.
Nice, nice. Okay, so let's move on to like the actual like metal scene as a whole. What would you want to see metal become, like in terms of like the genre and like how it proceeds from here?
That is a good question, because I don't follow like I don't follow what happens in the scene or even in our own genre. I have no idea of new bands or anything.
Oh, you know?
No, I'm really lazy. If if I found new bands, if somebody recommends me something, then I usually check it out. So
Like what? Like let's say in terms of record labels, and like how would you want the?
I really hope that things would go back, like sound-wise, it would go a little bit back to more natural, like a little bit old school stuff.
Yes.
This Pro Tools stuff is not. I understand it's a cool thing, but nah. I really wish musicians could actually play their songs like also not like 5 second pieces.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so when you joined the band, what was your first impression?
Well, I like the material really much. Actually, Marcus played me the album Iron when we were driving to the studio, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool stuff. And I had played in a few death metal bands before that, and well, all kind of bands like funk and pop and whatever. And when Marcus said, yeah, you should come to to audition, and I was like, okay, what song should I, practice? And he said, I don't know, maybe all. I was like, okay, then I practiced all the songs, and then of course I had to analyze the songs much more. And I was like, okay, this is actually really good songwriting, and I was really impressed about many things about how Marcus and the ex-vocalist Jari, how they
Yeah.
write the music. It was really good.
Yeah, so in my internet travels around like the Finnish area, I've run into instances like people like how do you like I hear like people are kind of reserved over there, in terms of like social, and I'm wondering how that works into like gigging and like what are your shows usually like in Finland when you play? Like do people? One guy Jukka Cairo told me that that everyone's drunk at a Finnish show.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's kind of stereotype, but of course there's a part of it is true that Finnish people are maybe a little bit more quiet, and we're not so good in small talk and stuff like that. But like our shows, they're pretty much similar on every continent and in every country.
Oh really?
Yeah, our fans seem to enjoy the shows really much. Even though they're like really aggressive looking mosh pits and crowd surfing and everything, but still everybody in a good mood and they help each other, and a lot of people sing along. And
I heard you play walking several times.
yeah, at least 3. Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, being in front of all those people versus like a club like this. How does it change for you on stage being in front of like are you like pressured at all? Do you like play any?
No, it doesn't give any more pressure. Actually, of course, it was a really crazy feeling.
Do we get any beer before we go on stage? Trollfest number 6 last
for our show in Wacken.
Yeah.
Which year was it? A few years ago. Anyway, it was raining really hard, and we're like, shit, nobody's gonna come because it's raining really hard.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna go to tent stages, and like 2 minutes before our show, it ends, and we got on stage, and you can't see the end of the people, and it was like 50,000 people. Of course, the feeling is incredible, and when people are really into your music and you're there shouting and singing along, it's incredible feeling. But on the other hand, I really love playing small shows. There's more intimate feeling.
Yeah, and with like shows like Walking, for example, how many, like, what do you think people are gonna go away from? Watch Ensiferum and Walking, and then watch all the other bands. What are they gonna think sets you apart? Like from all the other bands that play, like there's a Monomarth, there's Machine Head last year. What makes you different from all them?
Well, we are a fucking good live band. How modest. I think for us it's really important to have interaction with the audience. That's because audience also gives us a lot of energy on stage. So it goes like vice versa. The crazier they are, they give more energy us. And
it's a mutual thing.
Yes, that's something.
So like I got you. So do you mean like you have them sing along the songs or?
Yeah, and anyway, taking contact with the audience, because there are many bands who just are almost from this shoegazing genre,
Yeah.
But for us, it's
energy.
Energy, definitely, and we get that from audience.
Yeah. Let me see. Would you prefer to go back to an earlier style status of your band? If so, why? If not, why not?
Why? No, of course not. Because the life itself, and of course, band is a kind of process. You have to evolve. You have to challenge yourself. There's no, all the old stuff is. They just reflect a certain period of time in band's history, and.
So Sorry.
No, just gonna we learn from that, and of course we want to move on and become better at what we're doing.
How has being in a band changed your life personally? Has it like made it like really hard? Like, are you on the like everyone knows you in your neighborhood? Or?
No, we're not that popular in Finland, which is really nice.
How does it change your personal lives? Like, what do you have to do differently now that you're?
Not much. Only thing that it has changed is the amount of time what I have for my family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, when I'm at home, when I'm with my friends and family, then I really appreciate those moments. I really cherish those moments totally differently than before.
Yeah, I've noticed in a lot of Finnish and mostly around the world, it's pretty easy to get in contact with band members, like, if you're just on Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, I've tried looking you guys up on Facebook to try to do an interview, and like I couldn't find you.
In Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes, we are there.
You were there?
Yeah, and I have also like a working profile because I started to get hundreds and hundreds of friend requests from my fans. I was like, this is like personal profile, just my few friends and family. So.
I see.
But I didn't want to use any, nickname. So it's in my own name. But yeah, I make like working profiles. So that's
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's different considering,
Yeah.
Like, well, anyway, do you think that there has been any along the road in your time in Ensifeum? Have there been any like significant events that have changed like the course of your music? Like any big thing, or has it just slowly evolved? Because I've noticed like with Victory Songs and Unsung Heroes, there's a big sort of
there is definitely. I think every album is just like a natural step ahead. And, of course, everything that happens in everyone's personal life and our common life on road, and so of course everything affects how the next album will turn out. But let's put it this way: now, for like the last few years, and especially this year, has started really well. There's tremendously positive things has happened in Ensiferum's life. In a way, there are a lot of good things happening at the moment.
Are you allowed to release any of those?
Well, let's just put it this way: the future looks much more brighter than ever.
Someone in there?
Occupy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, okay. So you were saying there was something good coming along?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave to speculate there. Maybe my book won't be finished and I can include it.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some. It's gonna be released, so at least some of the stuff soon. So.
Okay, well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
What let's see. What are some of the things that help your band get noticed, like promotion, for example? What are some of the major things that get you to where you are right now?
To be totally frank, it's. Of course, we always had label and some people doing PR for us, but sometimes I feel the biggest thank you belongs to ourselves because we have toured really much. Because there are many places that people have never even heard of us, and they say they can't find our albums anywhere. So there's something clicking in the organization, at least until now. But like I said, things are gonna go to much better direction in the future.
I heard before that from someone that you do have a promotion agency, though. Is that correct?
Yeah, and of course, people are doing their best. I have no doubt for that, but.
It's mostly you behind the wheel for that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully things will change soon. So I guess one of the obvious questions that I've missed in an interview is, what are your influences? They can, not just with metal, with anything.
Like, pretty much can be anything. Like on the Unsung Heroes album, I think you can obviously hear that Markus kind of found progressive music from like 70s.
You got it. Okay, good.
And like I said earlier, you know, everything that happens in our personal life and that reflects how the new album will come out. And for me, I listen to lots of different kind of stuff, and well, I don't listen to metal much at home.
Oh, I know.
Like I said, I don't follow the scene. I have no idea. Of
So
new
then,
bands.
what you listen to, like, does that affect Ensiferum at all?
Yeah, of course. Because metal music, in a way, is pretty conservative.
Yeah.
In a way, so I think it's really good to have a wider horizon.
Yeah, you know, with your keyboard playing, there's like a lot of like, you know, folk instruments, and I was talking about that, and like, you know, how bands like, for example, Dreamtale, actually he does like a lot of traditional keyboard stuff, and you guys do orchestral arrangements and stuff.
Yeah,
like, I noticed there have been, like in Unsung Heroes, there's a lot more of the orchestral part of it.
Yeah, actually you can. Actually, there is less than on the previous album, but on From Far album, the amount of tracks got out of hand, so it turned out to be a little bit too full, so you can't even hear all the details.
What happened with that last track in Unsung Heroes, like 10-minute long track, or however long it was?
That's 16 minutes actually.
Where did that come from?
It wasn't intentional; it just happened. The song just kept growing and growing, and it just turned out to be that way. It's a really crazy song, but we had a really good time composing it. And
So.
But I don't know. I doubt we can ever. It's Mikey. I doubt we ever gonna top that. I mean, as a length.
Yeah.
That's not ever intentional to. When we start writing, okay, now let's make a long song or let's make a short song. We just start from some riff or melody and see where it goes. And
yeah, so on your on the Unsung Heroes album, there's a song called Pohjola or whatever. That's a part of Finland, isn't it?
Pohjola means like a Northland itself.
Like up in
north, the whole itself. And,
Laplands. Like the Laplands.
Yeah, and you could mean like the whole. Dare I even say like the whole Scandinavia? It means well. It's a really old poem, like way over 100 years old poem. I found the lyrics, the poem, and I thought, yes, it would be so cool to have like even a few lines. It would be so cool to have on some lyrics. Then we had the raw version demo version of the song, and I checked out, oh shit, the lyrics fit it perfectly. And then I did like demo version of the lyrics, vocal, sorry, at home, and I took it to the rehearsal room, and guys liked it, and it turned to be. And we were happy to get the really legendary Finnish actor to do this spoken part.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not a big thing abroad, but in Finland it's really something special.
Congratulations. So, like you as a musician, what's the best thing you've given to Ensifeum? Like, what has your greatest accomplishment been?
I really don't know. I think we have to ask from Markus. You want to answer a question?
I can try.
Yeah.
It's been the big, like for Ensifeum, what do you think your biggest contribution has been to Ensifeum? The best thing you've done for it?
Best thing? Maybe the band itself.
Yeah,
it's really hard to say.
Yeah, Trollfest had a hard problem with that question too.
Yeah, because it's, like I said, Markus found the band back in '95, and like teenager, so it's kind of his life work then.
Personally, I feel very good that we have like fans everywhere in the world, like in every culture. That feels very, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It feels really good to be part of something, music itself, that it unites people from all the continents. It makes you really humble in a way.
When you began playing in Ensifeum, like was your musical, like was what you wanted to accomplish different than what it is now?
To be honest, when I've always loved to play. Like I said, I started when I was 11 or something. For me, I used to have like 7 different bands at the same time and different kind of styles. So it was, for me, the playing itself with good people, composing stuff, that's been the most rewarding thing. So I never actually had even my goals in music were, before I joined Ensifeum, was to record a real album in a good studio and play one festival show. And then I can die happy as a happy man. So
Speaking of shows, like, who would you want to tour with the most of all the bands that are out there?
Iron Maiden.
Really? Nice, nice. And like, where would you want to tour? The world, U.S., Finland, what?
Whole world.
Oh,
Whole
nice.
universe. We can go to Mars.
Nice, nice. Has your band changed the way you looked at the world at all? Like, you know, like your view of the world, has your band changed it? You know, like maybe how you view the recording industry, how you view, like, you know, like when you go to a show of another band and you see, like, does it change at all?
Yeah, and that kind of sucks in a way.
Yeah.
And but I'm kind of happy I can still go to the show and enjoy it, but it's really easy to start analyzing things like, oh, okay, that's how the technique goes. Oh, good lights and, you know, stuff like that, and nice stage props. And
yeah.
And same thing with when you're listening music from CD. That's because of this Pro Tools, when everything is so artificial and everything is auto-tune and everything. And when you listen to some old stuff, you can notice, oh shit, this, you know, the rhythm changes. Oh shit, he sang out of tune or something, which you never noticed before. So it's sad, personally.
It makes you look too far into stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I'm actually studying psychology, and I was trying to tie that into the book, but that didn't really work. So I actually got that from a few bands. Keyboard player from Dreamtale. Let's see. Do you feel like in the next Ensiferum album, whether there's anything that you missed on this album that you'd want to put in this one?
Yeah, of course. Every studio session, you know, it's a learning process. You learn a lot. On Unsung Heroes, we thought we made a really good pre-production, but I'm sure we're gonna do it much more better next time. So.
Are there any certain elements that you'd like to keep from Unsung Heroes into your new album?
Not in a way that we have to, you know, cling into something old stuff. I think, you know, what's made is made, and the next album we have to, you know, start from scratch.
So you don't think anything new, you know, you don't think you should learn from your successes as well? Like if something did well in Unsung Heroes, you wouldn't want to...
No, I don't think, you know, when you write music, it's... you shouldn't look back too much that, oh, people like this kind of stuff or this kind of stuff. Let's make more of that kind of... No, you have to be in connection with that teenager boy who was in rehearsal room writing his first song and this is awesome.
That can get hard sometimes, can't it? Like if you're like well advanced into the... You just have to be really, consistent.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere. What are some important connections you made through the band? Like, you know, there's obviously the labels and the other bands, but is there any other like maybe important people in your life that you met through being in a band?
Yeah, with them all the time. Like on this tour, our great tour manager here, Stefan. I really hope we can work with him again in the future, and all the crew members and like all the bands around the world, and of course the fans. You know, meeting people, and like the guy who's taking care of our Facebook and stuff like that. He was a teenage guy when I joined the band in 2005 or something. He sent us an email. You guys don't have a MySpace, and I replied to him, yeah, but you know we're not. I don't know how to make it, and you know I don't have time, you know, stuff like that. He was like, I can do it for you. You know, it takes like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, and we stayed in contact with him, and he's a really good friend of ours now.
Ah, I see. Okay, so what are some challenges you've faced in making your music? Like, have there been any obstacles along the way of like?
Self-criticism that's.
So like you've basically thrown out a lot of good stuff because you thought it was bad?
Yeah. Because there's no point, you know, keep repeating yourself. So that's something that I've noticed, that when we write stuff, it's like, oh shit, you know, this has been made like 100,000 times. So.
Well, that's actually good because like some bands, you know, like Amon Amarth, they like take stuff and reuse it over and over again from their own songs. So it's good to have that kind of newish approach to it.
Yeah, I think it's healthy and.
It's how keeps it fresh, certainly, so it doesn't sound like the same album over and over.
Exactly, I think it keeps the whole thing more interesting for a band, and because that was why you started a band in the first place, is to write music.
Yeah. So what do you learn from like when you throw out something, like what's your next? What do you learn like
Sorry.
Like after you've made a mistake,
Yeah.
when you start fresh, how do you incorporate that? Like, how do you stay fresh? How do you keep it new? I mean, a person can only come up with so much. Is it like, you know, the whole band writes stuff?
Yeah, well, I think one good thing is that we arrange everything together, and we talk pretty frankly in the rehearsal room, and everybody can give ideas. So that way, the amount of criticism is even higher. You know, if you somehow make something that sounds too cliche and you take it to rehearsal room, others are probably gonna tell you about it in a good way. You know, we have really good spirits in that.
Yeah.
So that so the fact that we work together, 5 people, totally different kind of person. I think that keeps our music really fresh and the ambition to become better and have an open mind and listen to all kind of different music also. And like I said, metal music is kind of conservative. If you just listen to metal music and get your influences from there, then there's a danger that you really don't have much tools and to make new songs. If you get inspiration from other genres or other styles totally, then the music might evolve totally different direction.
Okay. If someone were to, like, for me, for example, I'm visiting Finland soon. If someone were to visit Finland and like go to the shows around, like, what would they see? What would they be most likely to see? Would they see like how are the people in the show? Like, are the fans and stuff? Are they like in comparison to the fans here? What are like the fans and like what would a Finnish show be like? Like any similar?
Pretty similar. Like I said, our fans seem to be pretty similar around the world. Of course, in some places they are maybe like more grateful in a way, because for example, we have played in South Africa, where not many bands go because it's so much traveling to go there, and we also played in India and in China. We played in some cities in China where we were the first Western band ever. So people were like really crazy and grateful. So maybe that's something, if you play in Helsinki, where it's like 5 metal shows every day, people might be like, nah, a little bit more, but people who come to our shows, come there by free will, and they seem to like it, which is nice.
I have like what's the best memory you have with the band?
There are so many. I can't just name one. Like, finishing every album and even after a good show, like we had many good shows on this tour, the feeling afterwards is so overwhelming.
Okay, and I think this is probably my last one. Does your band have one person leading the way, or is it more teamwork?
Sorry, one more time.
Does your band have one person leading the way, or is it more teamwork?
Definitely teamwork. We have full democracy in the band, even though Markus, as a the original founding member, he kind of has like veto option for stuff, but he never really uses that because
Okay.
It's definitely teamwork, even though it might be Markus who brings most of the ideas to rehearsal room, and well, because he has worked also in a record label, so he knows a lot about the business side also. So he kinda is the leader of the band, obviously, but all the choices are made together as a band. So in a way, it's teamwork, and I think it's good to have someone who in a situation when if there you can make the decision. I think there is good that there is a one person who is capable of doing decision, and everybody kind of grants him the position. So I don't know. Did I answer your question? There's kind of leader, but
yeah,
it's
that was
still
actually
one.
a better answer than I expected. Yeah, I don't have much else here because I've a lot of the questions you've answered in other questions, which is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna put these here. Here's my card. If you think of anything else that might be interesting in my book, let me know.
Yeah, if you come up with
has
any
my
question.
email, so you can hit her up for that. Cause I couldn't fit my email on this.
Yeah. And if you come up with any more questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. It's sami@ensiferum.com. It's really easy. So.
Okay. Well, I'll just do that then. Here, take a flyer.
Thank you.
I was originally gonna. I guess I can put your name back on it now, cause.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's one. Oh, you already got one. Sorry.
Good job with it.
Thanks. Oh, it's Jarko Sornen's company actually. He's working with me on
Thank
it.
you.
Really good.
You heard any of the bands on it?
Sorry?
You heard any of those bands?
Band. Yeah. They start like already too old for me, but they of course.
Yeah, there's Dreamtale. You know, I was talking to Axley about what you said about the orchestral stuff. And their new album has a lot of orchestral arrangements on it. You should check it out.
I haven't heard them.
You haven't heard of
I know
Dreamtale?
the band, but I haven't been listening.
Their new album has a lot of like orchestral, like, not folk melodies.
Yeah.
I've actually been working with keys myself to do some folk melodies. I sent you some on email.
Yeah.
It's been kind of tough though. Keyboard's hard.
Huh?
Keyboard's kind of hard. I prefer guitar.
You wanted some more. But it's totally different for
More for you.
with the orchestrational things. It's totally different. So that's why we have a guy for those.
Yeah. I heard from this guy Yucca Cairo that you have session musicians doing your recording. Is that true?
Yeah, those small instruments.
No, I mean like for everyone. Like the whole band isn't there, but it's all session musicians.
No.
Yucca Cairo is from the National Napalm Syndicate said that.
No. All guitars and drums and bass and done that. What do you mean?
Oh no, he just said that you hire people to go in and record.
We hire?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh wow.
Why should we do that?
I don't know, Yucca's kind of funny sometimes.
No way.
I'm sorry, bro. We're gonna have to cut it off.
Okay.
It usually never lasts that long. Did a favor, but now I'm gonna let it get ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Send you an email, Matt?
Yeah?
Okay.